Zamiha, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. We're really glad you're with us. The founder and the brains behind the founder and the brains behind get out
Oh, you've
excuse
got it.
me, the founder and the brains behind Professional Asian and Recommendation. This is arguably one of the largest, if not the largest, network of professionals, Asian professionals in Europe. No small achievements, Zamiha. I don't exactly know how you've managed to get and accumulate such a massive group of people, but it'd be great to hear your journey.
I don't know either. And I guess that's part of the beauty of it. I don't know if those stats are correct. I know it's a big group, so recommendation is 60,000 people. Professional Asian is, oh, I've lost you. Professional Asian is 60,000 people as well. And it just kind of started by accident. So 2.5 years ago, I found somebody had recommended a sari pleated to me, my friend Rahana, and
Mhm.
I was like, because I can't put my own sari on, I'm like proper
Right.
coconut like that. I still have to go to my mum's house, and then that takes 2 hours because then you have to do gup shop with her, and she puts it on and it goes wrong and all that. So she recommended this to me. I was like, yeah, man, this is awesome, and I want to share it with all my friends because that's who
Yeah.
I am. I'm a bit of I don't mind telling people that I got something, for 20 quid at TK Maxx. It doesn't bother me. I'm like, that's who I am. So I just wanted to share this, and it was kind of like, how do you share it?
Mhm.
So I just created a Facebook group and
How far
added
back ago
my
was this, time frame wise?
April 2016.
About 2016. Okay.
Yeah. So then I added my friends. Off I went. Told them about this, put on an Amazon link, put on a little YouTube video of how it works. And that was it. And then people just started adding people and adding people. And it got to about 3,000 people. And I said to my husband, like, I started this thing and it's kind of like seemed to be quite popular. And I think he just thought, yeah, whatever, leave her to it.
I guess he didn't give it the due regard.
No, well, to him it was just like a thing on Facebook, and then people. He's got a restaurant. He's got a couple of restaurants in Stanmore, and his customers started coming in and saying, "Oh, you must be really proud of your wife." And he's
Right.
like, "I'm doing exactly." Uh, and so that's kind of how it started and how it grew. And I was actually working full time. I was the planning and reporting manager in the IT PMO at Argos at the
Mhm.
hotel group, and so I was on Facebook lunchtime. Any break I got, before work, after work, and it was just pretty much consuming my life. And then
The life of a professional, right?
right, and then um, there was so many adverts in it, and to me it was too much, right? And I thought, well, people obviously want to talk about the services they provide, and at that point men were asking me that, can you create one for us? And I was like, nah, that's Pasha's job, right?
Sure.
I didn't have the time, I didn't have the capacity, I didn't really know. Like, I'm a woman, so I kind of know what to talk about. With
Yeah.
men, so I wouldn't have been able to kind of lead the conversation in the same way, I don't think, because Facebook groups, I think when they start there, it's like a little bit like being on a dance floor. Somebody has to be first one on, and it's generally you.
Yeah. Somebody's got to be the first one on.
Yeah. And so, but men do like to talk about business, and so did a lot of women in recommendation. And that's how PA kind of started, just to kind of marry the two together, to give everyone a space to talk about their business without recommendation becoming this kind of, series of adverts. And it's worked really well. It's it's just been a phenomenal journey, and I don't think that I ever imagined it could ever be like this, really.
Because it has grown immeasurably, right?
Yeah, it's grown really quickly, and it's a really highly engaged group as well. There are lots of big groups on Facebook. We're not the only one. But I do think that there are, obviously some repetitive content, and we try and get people to search stuff. But slowly these things will weed out as we get more slick. But it's all a journey.
What set you off? If you rewind the clock, what was it about your role as a professional that caused you to jack it in?
It was a timing thing, and it's funny because I was in a good job, and I did like my job at the beginning when I started it. It's fun. I think one of the things that I kind of, funny enough, craved was like recognition or appreciation for what I was doing, and I think that was more of a driver to me than money or anything. But I think it got to the point where when RecommendAsian started, around the same time, we had like new management in and new ways of working. So, I mean, for those that are project IT bods, they've gone from a waterfall to an agile approach. If you know those kind of terminologies, it's really hard to do. And the change management around it, wasn't really working for me. I had so much work. I felt really thrown and a bit unsupported, and it was in Milton Keynes. I didn't have any time with my family, so it was just timing, and change that kind of I was a bit more dissatisfied with. Oh, I've lost your sound.
Excuse me. What do you regard in your background as an aha moment? If there was a moment, there was an epiphany, something that's propelled you.
I was saying that it was that kind of recognition thing that I wanted, that what was driving me, and I felt really underappreciated, and in my kind of head, like I'd read The Secret, and I'd kind of done all that kind of soul searching stuff, and
right.
I think when I manifested, I was like, okay, this is what I want. I wanted to do this piece of work. I want to be like, I want it to be awesome. I want my boss to be like, wow, damn, you rock. And, I want his boss to, I had this whole scenario planned in my head of how I wanted, kind of to be known almost. And, and kind of have a good reputation and a good work ethic and all that kind of stuff. And I think, I kind of, it was a bit retrospective, but when I decided to, actually, when people started going to Sham and saying, oh, you must be very proud of my wife. I think, of my wife or your wife, I think at that time, I'd kind of let go of the how. In the visualization, I'd just kind of been like, okay, I just want to be kind of, known for doing good stuff, and that was it. The boss and the whole scenario and the whole, all that went out the window, and I think I just started concentrating on what I wanted, and it didn't come to me from work, it came to me from RA.
Interesting.
And that's like, wow, okay, so it's really important that if you do manifest that, just let go of it. That doesn't mean like just sit there and eat like 12 donuts and think that I want to be a size 10, because obviously that's not going to happen. So the manifest has to be like real. I've tried it, the donuts just went straight to my hips. but I think that when you manifest something, the opportunities will come to you, and you need to take them, and you don't know where they're going to lead you. You don't know what's going to happen with the people that you meet. You know, you don't know where that path is, you know, if your paths will cross again and where it's going to lead. So, for example, you know, we've got ConnectAsian with Amit. Like, I met Amit really randomly. Neither of us kind of knew who each other was. In the introductions, I heard he was like a radio DJ. And I was like, yeah, cool.
Right.
I didn't know anything else really about him, but you know, we clicked, and that was it. You know, we kind of just got along. But then later down the line, when ConnectAsian started, and we started, you know, interfacing, and then we brought it into the RA family, and you know, it's created. You know, we've had like 2 weddings on there, and already on the singles group, and you know, things have happened. You know, not for, you know, for us and for other people,
Yeah.
and it's, you just don't know. You never know.
And I think this is an important point here. You're bringing out a theme, which I think is, a theme that we forget about, which is that to do something because you're passionate and you have a good intention, it is forgotten about, because we're thinking of the bottom line. We're thinking about what we can get out of it financially, fiscally, whatever it is, career-wise. But when we take that step back and we just do it because we love it, we have some semblance of an idea, you know, okay, you're not throwing caution entirely to the wind, but you're kind of surrendering the result. And you want to just go on that journey because you like it and because you think something good will happen for yourself and other people. How important do you think is the balance between surrendering your wishes for something to succeed and actually going and grabbing the bull by the horns? So how much do you value surrender and destiny versus actually getting your hands dirty and doing what you need to do?
Oh gosh, I think you have to do both. I mean, I think everything in this world generally is about balance. You know, how you live your life, it's all about balance. You know, I mean, I'm Muslim, so like, even the Prophet taught that when you eat, you have to have a third of your full of water, a third full of food, and a third full of air. Obviously, you can tell I'm very religious, but that's what he said. You know, and you know, everything is about balance. And you know, you have to be heart led as well as kind of, you know, mind led. You have to be logical and practical, but you have to feel inside that it's the right thing to do, and you also have to listen to your intuition. You know, I think if you balance everything out, there's no point in, you know, just going hell for leather on something that you just, you know, have this urge to do, and you don't think about the consequences. I mean, it depends on how risk averse you are and how much money you have as well, because there is a bottom line. It is money, to be honest. I wish I'd stayed on at work and, you know, kind of allowed the journey to take me to a place where I was turning over another income stream to work. So I was a bit kind of like, you know, foolish in some ways. So I do think you do have to be strategic, and you have to think about it, but you need to weigh up what it means, what, you know, if things go right, if things go wrong. I mean, like, it's hard not to overthink things, but it's about balance. And sometimes if something doesn't sit right with you, then, you know, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do anything.
No, but I think you do want to follow your heart and your head. There's a parallel here. What you're talking about almost says that, yeah, you follow your heart, but you have to have your head screwed on at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You know, your friends, your family, you know, if you can achieve a balance everywhere, then that's the best place to be in.
So talking of balance, you've been on the journey to get your own balance. And one of the people who've kind of been a supporter on the way is the gentleman that we both know and we both admire, Mr. Amit Sodha, who is a bit of a coach in his own right. So I have a little surprise for you. I have invited him on the panel. And I wanted him to come and say hi and just really, and there he is, the fine, handsome gentleman who's been on a vegan diet and lost a ton of weight.
Oh my
the
God.
radio personality, Mr. Sunrise Radio himself.
You and Sneha just converting everybody to this vegan thing.
Sometimes it's worth giving it a try. It's worth giving it a try for a while. You may not stay on it, but it's a good thing to do for
Both my heart and my head is saying no. There's my.
Well, you're going to listen to your heart and your head, I guess, to a degree. But talking of your heart and your head, I know, and we haven't got enough time to cover all of this on the show. I know you've had your fair share of heartaches, and you've definitely, like all of us, experienced the sharp edge of life in many different ways, both on the personal, professional, the health front, many different ways. And yet here you are standing, smiling, working on something that you love, and actually seeing it succeed in ways that you never expected it. And that's why we've called you the accidental entrepreneur. You very much are. And there are people who had a part in helping you to be where you are. And if I wanted to invite this crazy man with the fine goatee sitting just underneath us, Amit Sodha, welcome to A Walk on the Wise Side. Welcome to Urban Spirituality. You're no stranger to all things lifestyle enhancing. Thank you for joining us at short notice. How you doing, fella? Amit, you need to unmute yourself. And it's very unusual to have you quiet.
I was just about.
There we go. There we go.
Oh,
Got it.
hello.
Yeah, there we go.
Comedian, life coach, radio presenter, and a generally nice fellow. I'm not sure if his wife would agree with all three of those, but here he is anyway.
Maybe 1 or 2 out of 3.
Absolutely. The wonderful Amit Sodha. Amit, I wanted to dial you in here for a minute, just to share a few words. You've been close to Zamiha in the journey that she's been in recent times. She made illusion. Give us a little thought on how the Zamiha of yesterday has become the Zamiha of today. What's kind of changed?
She's a superstar. Just look at her. Look at her.
Your life. Have you
You
got
what?
a red book coming out?
Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
And I'm
Zamiha,
so
this-
excited by even knowing that now.
No, she has been to do what you do actually on Facebook is not an easy thing, and I think most people probably don't understand the kind of resilience and strength it takes to do something like that, and it all comes from a place of inside of trying to help people, and I've heard her once say that it's about her kind of just putting it out there and using this amazing tool to help so many other people. Like I said, it comes with its up and down. There's sometimes it could be a very thankless job, but yet look at this lady with a big smile on her face and always carrying on like a true soldier. And I think as time goes by, she just goes from strength to strength.
With the help and support of amazing admins on all the groups.
Absolutely, absolutely, and that comes from great leadership as well. Genuinely does.
So Amit probably knows more about me than a lot of people, because he's the one that I ring as like a coach, saying, "Oh, this has happened and that's happened," and I get very insecure about stuff. I'm just like a real person, like normal. I have a lot of, you have negative moments, and you have, a good cry now and again, and everything gets on top of you, and a lot of self-doubt, and the funny thing is, as amazing as it's been, that the REMPA have grown so organically. Like I honestly haven't advertised them anywhere. They've just grown, which is just a blessing and phenomenal. But sometimes it's like, I don't think I literally don't realize, like, it's like when you watch a child grow up, it's like when it's happening in front of your eyes, you don't know so much, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, this is
the kid's 18, grown up, gone to university.
Yeah, and it's kind of been a little bit like that with groups. It's been a baby with my 219 of my friends, and then and now it's like recommendation is like 60,000 friends. Like they're all like a sisterhood in a community, and it's amazing. And Professional Asian is just it's like a community online, and you kind of get a bit overwhelmed sometimes, like, am I doing the right thing? I can't please everybody. What do I do? So he's been super supportive in all my little moans, as well as in my personal life, which chaos.
I don't know if anyone's seen the film. I think I recommended it to Crash recently, which was The Social Network. and obviously that film being all about Facebook. And if you watch that and look at some of the parallels of, obviously, this guy started this website, had no idea it was going to grow, and you know what, I noticed some parallels when I watched that film. You know, you just do something when you don't know at the time how big it's going to grow. That's exactly what's happened to you. But then you don't. Thing is as well, you don't know all the lessons in advance. You only learn as you go along, and then, you know, that builds your character. It builds, you know, your resilience, your strength, and that's what's happened with you. And I could see that in your face and your eyes. And despite all your personal challenges, you still just forge ahead, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, and you know, the funny thing is, it's like, not only did I not know in terms of any business sense, everything that I've done has literally been heart-led or common sense. There's been no business degree, no MBA. There's like I've for the last 26 years I've worked for somebody. You know, I've never had to worry about things like, you know, tax returns and, you know, public liability insurance and not only that practical side of things, but like the strategic, how to grow something, how to do something. And I'm kind of like a little bit asked about phases in, you know, most people start a business and then concentrate on building their community, whereas I kind of had this community. I'm like, okay, this is taking up so much of my time and energy. You know, how can I sustain it and sustain myself at the same time? And so that's where the kind of monetization comes in. And it's all been a little bit of trial and error. Do a few things here, do a few things there, see if it works. It's been a kind of really organic journey generally.
Well, let's talk about that, Zam, for a bit, because like you say, you know, you've had your fair share of accidents and lessons along the way. What would you regard as 3 common pitfalls that entrepreneurs and business owners fall down on?
Wow. Okay. I think, well, there are so many that I've made. So many. I think if you really believe in something and you're passionate about it, and do your market research, definitely, and make sure that it's a viable, you know, strategic thing to do. Because if you can't, like, you know, make enough on it to survive, then obviously it's not worth doing. So do your homework. But I think more than that, don't listen to the negative people, because they will be your downfall. If you strongly believe in something and you've researched it and you've got your business case, and there'll be somebody somewhere, if not multiple people, saying that doesn't sound like a good idea, you can't do that. You know, even with me, God, Sam, it's a Facebook group, what do you think you're going to do with it? You know, it's
right.
You have to have your conviction and understand the value of what you're doing, you know, and you have to truly value it, because that's kind of another pitfall, that you don't, you know, value yourself. And so, especially if you're doing a service or something, like if you're an, you know, artist or someone that does therapy, if you're really good, if you undersell yourself and if you don't believe in yourself, then no one else is going to give you value either. So, I mean, you have to really, you know, what you're doing in your product, because if you don't, people will pick that up and you won't sell jack. You can have the best product in the world, but if you don't have the conviction in it, how do you expect anybody else to? And that goes with life generally, as a wife, as a mother. You know, you have to be like the best you can be and value yourself. Otherwise, you know, the other people in your life won't value you. So that's
okay. So that's a powerful wisdom lesson. You got to value yourself. What else? What other common pitfall have you come across?
I think one thing that I just was saying yes to everything and would burn myself out. I think you have to learn to say no. And there's an amount of work that I do, for example, with the Ruhi project and stuff like that, that I do because it gives me self satisfaction. I think it's a good thing to do. I don't make any money from it. I don't get anything from it, but I'm, you know, a conduit in bringing music to the community and helping these people. And there's, you know, the Aga Khan Foundation, and you know, they're doing the blood swab thing there, and so there's a lot of good. So I've got that value, which is worth a lot. But you know, there are things that I need to say no to because they don't bring me anything, you know. And I think that's hard, because when you're one of these kind of, you know, like quite a giving person, like a, you know, on those charts you'd be a green, and you know, you people please, and you know, you want to please everybody, and that's one of my things that I really do, like, want to please everybody, and I just physically can't. And it, you know, I went to this one conference, and this woman just goes to me, if it's not making money, it's not making sense. I can't live my whole life like that, but there
No.
are things where you just think, actually, you know, I've got a family to feed, I've got a roof over my head, how much time and energy am I spending on it, and what's the return on it, you know, on my time. And, you know, if you can't justify it, then you just have to say no. And, you know, for me, it's probably the hardest thing in the world, but, you know, I think I'm not alone in that. You know, you just want to please everyone, even if it's for a discount, or, you know, why are you doing something for less than cost price? You know, don't do it, just say no.
So are you saying, let's be clear here, because, you know, we know that you're related with heart as well as head. Okay.
Mm.
What you're saying is not turn your back on things that add value to people's lives, which may not necessarily add value to your own. You're just saying
No,
you be choosy
sure.
about how many and how much you say yes to, and how much you draw the line against. Is that what we're
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, absolutely. I mean, even if it's just little things, like the amount of meetings that you might have, you know, if you can do it on Zoom, do it on Zoom. You don't have to do it face to face. You can spend, you know, instead of spending 3 hours traveling somewhere, coming back, just, you know, do a Zoom. It's so much easier. There are little things that you can say no to, like, I won't travel, but I'll meet with you in another way. That's 3 hours now is gone down to 1 hour.
Right.
You know, it's you can't say yes to everything, you know,
I think
but you
it's,
can price on stuff,
yeah.
right? And that you can, you know, you can, you know, accommodate stuff without breaking your back.
You choose your yeses wisely. I think
Yeah,
that's what we're saying. Choose your
yeah,
yeses wisely, and
yeah,
don't be afraid to say no, but tastefully,
yeah,
with a bit of you know, with a bit of panache. You know, say no
yeah,
with a good reason, and that way you're not ruining or spoiling a future business relationship, or indeed the whole thing translates to professional work as well, right?
yeah.
You may have to draw boundaries. Snaz chipping in here on the chat here saying boundaries. Absolutely, need
And
to
if
have
it, I mean,
boundaries.
got a product, or you're selling something, or, you know, you're a cake maker, or a makeup artist, you know, value your time, value, you know, the ingredients, yeah, might not cost a lot, but your time, your skill, your effort, it costs. You should factor that in. And if it
Mm.
doesn't give you, you know, if someone wants you to do something for like next to nothing, you need to say no, because if it's not, you know, giving you a return in some way, right, then you're not valuing your own time. So it doesn't make sense to do it, you
Yeah,
know?
and that does make a lot of sense. I think we talked about valuing your products yourselves. We talked about the importance of saying no, or choosing your yeses wisely. What about a powerful idea that you're passionate about? How can you, if somebody's got a powerful idea, they're really passionate about it, how can that be nurtured properly? Tips.
Um, I think you do, you have to be like completely authentic about it. You know, that powerful thing. I think you have to know your why behind it. You can't nurture something until you know why you're doing. You could have it. It's a difference between an amazing idea that, you know, kind of sounds good and stuff, and really, really feeling it from inside, that this is going to, you know, make a difference. It's a game changer, and, you know, you have to always be authentic, and don't be afraid to try. You know, I think the more you try, even if you fail, you learn something from it, and then you try again, and then you refine things. I mean, it doesn't work for everyone or everything, but I
No,
think,
and it's not a catch-all.
no, but for me, it's just trying it, and seeing what happens. And, you know, if things don't work well, they don't work well. But, you know, I think, you know, with the first Hey Gorgeous, I think it worked really well on the whole. There were some mistakes, and then we refined it next time, and then we refined it next time, and it just got bigger and better. And you know, more amazing. But I really felt passion. Asian, connected them to their audience in recommendation, because it's just a cool thing to do. Is, you know, you go to, you know, you're looking for stuff, you might go to Wembley, you might go to South, you know, you might go to a few things, you're quite limited in what you can do, or it's the same kind of shops every time. Whereas here, it brought everything together, so people that work from home or might have online businesses, and, you know, people could just shop in a nice way. But like I said, we learned, and you know, the next one's in March, and obviously we've learned even more, and that's going to be hopefully phenomenal. So, you know, that your passion should just drive you, and don't be afraid.
I like that. Well, let's springboard on that, Zam, for a second, if you would. There are people here who may have their own business, and there are others who may be professionals. What 2 or 3 key ideas or life skills would you suggest people take on board or really embrace to raise their game, at whether it's at work, business, socially?
You know what? I think the simplest thing that you can do, and that everybody can do, is just smile. You know, when you're on the phone, when you talk to someone, you know, smiling makes you feel better, but it makes them feel better as well. And you'd be surprised, the communication is key, whether you're in a job or you've got your own business and you're, you know, dealing with people, or you're at home with your kids. The way that you communicate, if you can just communicate with that smile, that's it. You know, half your battle is won. And I think it's such a simple takeaway, but it just makes such a difference, because, you know, you don't want to talk to somebody who's got a face like a slapped ass, right?
Right.
You want someone with a smile on their face. You know, immediately there's a connection just because someone smiled at you.
So,
You know?
yeah. So smiling, and would you pair smiling with, you know, just rapport, building your rapport skills as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's the start of it, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's the start of it. You know, your eye contact, the way you feel about yourself. If you're feeling good, and, you know, those kind of vibrations will make someone else feel good. It's just like, it's a really simple thing to do, but I think it's a game changer.
Okay, guys, just so we're clear here, Zam is talking about smiles. That's not an excuse for some of you who I know have a secret fetish with wearing makeup. That's not an excuse, guys. Okay, so keep it real, keep it authentic. I'm talking about the fellas listening in here. Okay, leave that stuff to the experts, or watch out, and you can try it all out at the next. Hey, gorgeous. Zam, give us another one as well.
Yes,
Something that we can really use to raise our game.
Invest your time or your money where there is ROI, where there's a return of your investment. You know, it's really easy to get sucked into kind of, oh, come and buy this, it's worth £3,000 and you can get it for today at 279. You know what? If they're selling it at 279, it's worth 279, right? It's not worth £3,000. It's, you know, and even that 279, I think you need to think about, what are you going to get that 279 back, or that one day of your life back, you know, in terms of time or money or mindset or whatever you might be doing. And I think it's really easy to you know, to go turn up to an event or something and think, yeah, I'm going to make lots of money on it, and then either not take action and do what you're told, or just to, you know, kind of forget about it and not get that ROI. So when you're doing something, even if you're working somewhere and you've got, you know, a lot of the workplaces have these online tuitions and online, you know, kind of get your skills up and stuff like that. You know, do it, but really implement it and get that return on your time or your investment. And if you're, say, working with like a personal coach, or, you know, the one thing that I do ask is, are you going to be able to give me, you know, what I spent on you plus more? Is it going to be worth my time? Is it really going to make that difference? you know, and you shouldn't be afraid to ask those questions, because if they're not saying yes 100%, then, you know, it's not worth it. Amit's very quiet. I'm feeling a little bit unnerved.
Amit, I'm gonna let me click you back in here, buddy. You want to share on this?
There we go.
Amit, did you have anything to add to Zam's list of qualities that can help both the professional and the entrepreneurial business owner to raise their game? You want to add one more in? One more. Check it out. You're the man with unlimited choice.
It's quite interesting, isn't it? What we actually had a conversation about this earlier today, didn't we?
We sure did.
We sure did. I think it really comes down to that, in really stretching and finding something inside you that's going to take you to the next level. And I mean, really digging deep. And I came up with this quote today, that if you have subdued your dreams, stop, turn around, and go in the opposite direction, because you're on the wrong track. So if you have in some way, shape or form, diminished your dreams, thinking that maybe I can't reach what my initial dream was, let me just scale it back a little bit, and I'll do that. I'll scale it back again. I think you're on the wrong track. You need to go in the opposite direction, really dig deep and fight for it. I got this idea in my head of where I want to be in, say, a year's time. And I realized I started to subdue my dream, and I thought, hell no, I'm not going to allow that to happen anymore. And if you spot yourself, this is the thing, it's the awareness that if you've actually noticed yourself doing it, then you can pause for that moment, use that, as Viktor Frankl called it, that space between stimulus and response, and think, actually, I can make that conscious choice not to do that. I'll go the other way, and I'm actually literally going to go fight for my dreams, and I'm going to make it happen no matter what. I know I'm going to be battered, I'm going to be beaten down, there's going to be people who are going to ridicule me, who are not going to believe in my dreams, but so long as I believe in myself, and that I can reach in and dig deep and get that real warrior inside and reach that next level. And for me, I think that's the next level, which is when you face the ultimate hardship, the ultimate challenges, but yet you still can keep on going. That is, but if you minimize your dreams, your visions and stuff like that, just because you think that's the only way you can match it, you're never going to achieve your goals to the full extent. And so if you spotted that, then you realize, then that you're going to have to actually go to the next level. So you're going to have to step it up again, increase your dreams, actually bring it on, challenge yourself and say to yourself, you know what, dreams, I'm going to make you happen. I bring this into existence. I'm going to make it happen.
Well, we're going to be making it happen. Thank you, Amit. That was quite the wisdom there. Thank you for sharing. Zam?
Inspired here is inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of the points you speak to resonate, I'm sure, with many of us who are in our, especially those who are in our 30s, 40s and 50s listening to this, who've, been through any number of roles, both professional and entrepreneurial, and had our successes and failures. And I think a certain level of healthy detachment is required. Zam, you epitomized it in your early part of this interview. You didn't really look to start a business. You grew it as a community with a noble intention, and it just so happened that RecommendAsian and then ProfessionalAsian subsequently has, blossomed, some would say mushroomed into what it is today. So I think that's a theme here, to be sufficiently detached from that outcome, but still have enough clarity to know that which direction you want to head. It's that dichotomy, right? Detachment, but direction needs to be there. And Amit, you've epitomized it. I know you're doing a great job, and we should talk and make sure we have a slot for you. We have you back here on the interview and talk about unlimited choice.
That one as well.
Yeah, you can guest on that one. Yeah, we'll get you on there as a guest, Zam. Absolutely. Look, Zam, we're coming towards the end of time, and I know the audience have been really good about sticking around.
Thank you, everybody.
There's some good comments coming in. Welcome, Shalini. Who's just talking about self-belief. The self-belief is so vital, especially during the dips in motivation. Now talked about boundaries, learning to say no respectfully. That's another important quality that comes out. So some really good comments kicking in at the moment from the chats as well. What I want to just, I want to throw you under a bit of a small bus here and just run some rapid fire questions past you that you would have had no chance to prepare for. So are you ready? I'm going to bring it on. Okay. First question. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
Oh my God, really?
Yeah, really.
I think as long as I had my my husband and my kids with me, I don't think I'd really mind. But I guess I
That's
wouldn't
a
mind.
beautiful answer, but humorous.
It's true though.
All right.
You know.
All right, I'll take that. If you had superpowers, if you're a superhero and you could have one superpower, one, what would that superpower be, and what would you do with it?
If I could have one superpower, I don't know. I think just to give people optimism, like the optimist fairy.
Nice.
You know,
Like you wave your wand and you give them optimism. Wait a
yeah,
minute. You
don't
wave the
have
wand.
negative
Give
world,
them,
man.
give them optimism.
Yeah, because there's hope. There's things that can be achieved. People just need to believe it. You know, nothing's impossible. World peace, solving hunger. It's not impossible. Just everybody has to work towards it together and be optimistic about it and let it happen. You know, and it's just negativity that gets in the way of all that.
I love that. The optimism factor, the O factor. That's a talk show in itself, by the way. So
Yeah.
let's put that on the idea board.
You have to be the O factor might get the wrong crowd, but okay.
Yeah. We'll work on the branding. You're the media expert, right? So we'll work on that. What one or two pieces of advice would the Zamiha of today give to the 25-year-old Zamiha?
The Zamiha of today. I think I would learn to, I know Raspbeat's on here, so she's going to love this one, to learn to trust my instincts more. I think I probably wish that, you know, when I was younger, I thought, you know, I'd had, you know, if I had a gut feel and, you know, or maybe I was a bit too logical and I didn't go with it, I think I would, I would advise myself to trust myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To trust yourself. Okay. Anything else?
Or trust my instincts, you know.
Trust your instincts.
Yeah. What else? I think growing up, I think I was I think I was you know, kind of a bit of an inferiority complex, a bit kind of self-doubting. And you know, some of it is still true today, you know, but not as much. I think I would have just liked to have just been more settled in myself and, you know, trust in myself. I guess it comes back to instincts, but
trust and instinct again, I think it's a theme here.
Yeah, it is.
Okay.
Yeah, and that with heart-led entrepreneurs, I think it often is, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so. And we're very much in the business of supporting heart-led entrepreneurs. You know, your brands breathe that. That's what they're there for. They stand for that, to help people to live with their heart and integrity and provide a service and solutions to people out there. And that's what you're doing through the community. Talking of which, what is up on Zamiha's radar over the coming months?
Oh my God, such cool stuff. So we've got, obviously we're planning Hey Gorgeous, and we've got an excellent...
That's in March, right?
That's in March, but we're planning to do a kidpreneur section.
Okay.
Which just to like inspire the youth to just be, you know, they are the entrepreneurs of the future. So just give them a little taste, maybe get some coaching for them, you know, let them have some stalls and, you know, make a little bit of money and, you know, just live a little bit of that kind of life, and maybe it will inspire them or their friends or their families to think, yeah, you know, I can do this. This is kind of fun. So that's, I'm super. And then we've got we started doing like a brochure. We did a Diwali brochure, and this is something that I'm, you know, this is one of the things that I've tried, and I think that we can improve massively on. So We're doing a little Christmas brochure.
Nice.
So promoting some of the businesses as well. The website is coming along nicely. The app is coming along nicely. We've got a load of networking that we need to organize. We've got a Christmas party on the 7th of December. So just to, everyone can let their hair down a little bit, have a few drinks and, vegan food or vegetarian food or meat food, whatever. And then, what else have we got? So yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah, I got something in the pipeline to do with videos and,
We talked about this.
That's going to be exciting. Yeah, I can't give too much away on that.
I'm going to play it close to your chest for now, but we'll hear more about it. Folks, you can follow Zam, Recommendation and Professionalization. You can find Zamiha's wonderful tribe, living, thriving community, Professionalizations on Recommendation, ladies, and Professionalization on Facebook is the key place where you will find this sharp cookie, skipping, hopping, and probably doing some crazy stuff as the weeks and months go by.
Yeah, but you know what? Just feel free to reach out. Everybody knows where I am because I'm always online. So just feel free to reach out. I'm here to be connected to as well, and I'm more than happy to, say hi.
Love it. Love the fact that you're so down to earth. You've had so much success. I mean, you're over 150,000, 200,000 connections that you've made in a relatively short span of time. And yet you're able to stay down to earth. You're able to rap with all of us. Just be your cool Zami self, which is such a great thing, as is Amit here. So we love the fact that you keep it authentic, and that's what we love about having guests like you on the show. There's no pretentiousness, your ego behind.
That's so nice of you. Thank you.
You're very welcome, and it's the truth. It is the truth. You have been from the time I've met you and known you. You are today. Same goes for this rather dapper fellow here who's on the call as well. There's a lot of love here because people are authentic, and I think when we're bringing our authentic selves with a little humor, a little self-deprecation, maybe once in a while, just ease yourself. Ain't a bad way to be, man. This is how we can be ourselves and just bring yourselves to the table. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you, Pratt. It's been awesome.
It has been awesome, Sam. And I'm glad you've had a good time. It's always a treat to interview people like yourself, and we hope to have many more. And on that note, on top of the amazing events that are coming up, you can keep an eye out at Professional and Recommendation on Facebook. I also want to quickly invite everybody and let them know something else is going on in March. We, as in Urban Spirituality and Mantra Therapy, are officially going live anytime now with our 4-day transformational detox retreat in the Brecon Beacons from the 8th to 11th of March.
Awesome.
Live. This is our third one, 8 years down the line running retreats, and we're running our third one in Buckland Hall, the UK's #1 retreat venue. There's some amazing stuff going on. It's our detox and transformation retreat. You might even see this crazy fellow beneath you here joining us to help shape people's minds and take 4 days to remove the clutter and make 2019 an amazing year. If you're interested, hit us up, let us know, and join us here on the Mantra Therapy page, and we'll tell you more about it. And also calling all men listening to this, pay attention. We have a special event to help men bring out the best of themselves. And guys, you need to put your egos aside for this. This is hard stuff. We're going to really get down and deep into men's stuff to help men become the best versions of themselves that we can be. It's on the 9th of December. There'll be some free webinars. Watch out for that. That'll be coming your way. In the spirit, exactly as Zamiha has said, we are continuing to care and share with people around. There are some amazing people listening to this, healers in their own right. And when you bring a group of people together like this, the one good thing that can happen is transformation locally and globally. And that's what we're doing. Zam, Amit through Unlimited Choice, his amazing brand, and all the other amazing healers and coaches who are on this call right now, Sneha, Mithilesh, Raspreet, Pooja, the list just goes on. It's just an honor to have you guys Harry with the interiors at the back. So I want to say thank you to everybody who's been involved in the making of this production and who stayed with us till the very end. Please don't forget to leave a like, join Zamihas incredible Facebook groups. If you haven't already, join the Mantra Therapy page, facebook.com/mantratherapy.co.uk. Urban Spirituality is our dual brand. Sign up, like it, follow what we're doing. If you like what we're doing, like these interviews, and they resonate and they help you, show us some support, share these, share the love, and we will continue to do more together with Zam, with Amit, with many more people to come around the world, and we'll bring quality wisdom to everybody. Thank you so much for everybody for being around. Zam, take a bow. You're amazing. Or gorgeous. Okay, she's frozen.
You.
It's frozen. There you go.
Here we go. Zam, you look gorgeous, and you've been gorgeous. Thank you for being your authentic self and bringing your authentic self here. We love it. Amit, I love it. Let's do
It's been a pleasure.
Let's do a meal and let's do a radio show sometime. I can't wait to do the Australian accent, mate, and just kind of tease you a little bit.
Sounds good.
We'll
Sounds
get
good,
an
mate.
Australian
Shrimps on the barbie.
or a totally an American one. You know, we'll just kind of go any way you want. So don't worry about it. We'll work it out. Folks, jokes aside, thank you for being with us, and forgive us for any technical issues. We will catch you on the next episode next week on A Walk on the Wise Side. Crash from Urban Spirituality, Zamiha, and the amazing Amit Sodha. Peace out. Namaste.
Bye.